In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 fabulous Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIYs. Keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 fabulous Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIYs. I've been waiting to share this video with you because this is one of my favorite themes for the holiday season. It is greenery, it is pine cones, it is plaid, and it is fabulous. I cannot wait for you guys to see. You know, Ralph Lauren is really trending this year for Christmas, and in this video, I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can add that touch to your home. So if you want to watch some Ralph Lauren inspired DIYs, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. Why? Well, because it is free and it really helps this channel. And you guys, I was watching the other day on my analytics, and did you know that 75% of you watch these videos on a TV? So I would appreciate if you get on your phone or your iPad or any electronic device like your computer and hit subscribe to this channel, so that way we can continue to grow. We're almost hitting 300,000, and I really would appreciate if you help us out with that. All right, we're gonna get started with the beautiful DIY Ralph Lauren inspired for Christmas. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so we're going to decorate a beautiful basket for our front door. One of the Ralph Lauren indicative designs is the Wicker, and I just love Wicker. He uses it so well. And so we're gonna start with this beautiful design by adding some greenery. So I'm gonna start right here on the front. Now this particular pick right here, it's a flat cedar, and I'm always telling you that Ralph Lauren, it's all about the mixture of greeneries and cedars and all kinds of greenery. If you've been fortunate enough to go to any of the stores, we have one here in San Diego, and when I go to Christmas, whether it's magnolia, cedar, pine, it's the mixture of it all, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to insert some. I'm creating a shape right here. So what I want to do is determine how high and how low do I really want it. This is going to be for the front door, so I want it to be very dramatic, very lavish, and very Ralph Lauren. So what I'm going to do is continue to add some of these greeneries, and we're going to just fill in. Now imagine there is a core right here in the middle, and everything has to radiate to each side, which is one of the elements of the sign. You know that we have these rules. Number 1 is like you work in sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. Number 2 is that you work in radiating motion. The ones that I invented myself, that what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. And that just helps us to basically have a guideline of the sign. That way we can follow all our rules, so that way it can be cohesive every single time. All right, let me spin this around a little bit towards me, so I feel like I can use one right here on the side. So I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna continue inserting this right here because it's what's gonna give us that very natural look, and all the way to the back as well. All right, so I'm gonna stop right here. I saved a few for the end. Look how pretty that is. It is just very Christmassy, right? So now what I have is I'm going to add some of this variegated one. It's not variegated, but it's very, it almost looks frosted. So I'm gonna insert one right here. This is a little bulkier, so it's really gonna help us to fill in. I'm gonna go right here in the middle, like that. I'm gonna spin it around towards me to see where do I need another one, like that. And then I'm going to add one right here in the center. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some of these beautiful poinsettias, and I'm gonna need my wire cutters for this. So I'm gonna grab them real quick. Oh, you guys, that pick also came with these faux branches. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert some of them to the top. It makes it look a little bit more natural by having a little bit of this natural branch element to it. And I'm just gonna put them right here in the middle. So it gives us, and that's also going to tie in with the beautiful wicker, and it's going to make it look a little bit more natural. So I'm gonna cut some of these guys right here. And remember, we wanna cut them short because we want them to be as far in. Then also don't forget to play with the head of the flower right here as well. So I'm gonna add one right here. And then I'm going to cut one for the middle. This is like the biggest one, so I'm going to spin a little bit over towards this way, and I'm going to go right here and just bend the head a little bit forward so it shows. Have this other one right here, comes with a foliage. Remember to save that foliage. We can just go ahead and insert it somewhere towards the back, and it's going to make it look more cohesive. So I'm gonna go right here as well, bending it. And so now I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm gonna cut them a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna go over to this side. And let me see, I need to see forward what it is. And I feel like I need one over on this corner right here as well. So I'm gonna insert this guy right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this David Christopher eucalyptus, which I absolutely love. We're gonna be using it in a few of the DIYs, and I'm going to insert right here to the side, making sure that goes all the way down, and look how cool that is. And then I'm going to go over to the other side as well. I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna spin it towards me so that I can see where I'm gonna put it. Right there. Look, that's just giving us so much more volume onto this beautiful basket. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this beautiful glitter pine, and we're gonna add, well, some glitz and glam because, well, it's the holiday, so why not? I'm gonna add one stem, and look how pretty this is, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna intertwine some of these beautiful glitters. This is a pine, it's a pine. It took me a second there. I'm gonna insert all the way around. Remember, we want it to spill forward. So I'm gonna add one right here. And then I'm going to travel back up like this. And remember to weave it in and out. So we're gonna insert some from the back over here and fan it out like this. All right, let me see forward. This is looking great. I'm gonna grab a few more elements. Oh my gosh, where are you? And I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so now what we're going to do, as you can see, I left a spot that is empty right here. It's because I want to add a little bit of the ribbon. We're gonna do a little bow ribbon, and it's going to be super simple and sweet. So what we're going to do is we're gonna give it a tail. I wanna say probably about 20 inches, and I'm just going to do one loop. That's all I need. It's one loop, and not that big of a loop either. So we want it to be simple and sweet, and I'm going to cut right here at an angle. So I want one short tail, one long tail, kind of like so. And so now I'm going to grab some of my hero ribbon, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm gonna pinch right here, and then I'm going to bring it forward like this. So this is gonna give us a 2-loop bow, and look how sweet it is, just a touch of this ribbon. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire these two together and really tightly like this. So see, it just creates a bow with 4 loops, and I think I'm gonna adjust it. But what I want to do is grab a stem, and this is a leftover stem. I'm gonna swirl this wire really tightly to create a stem to where we can attach with. Really, really tight, like this. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it right here, where I'm gonna take this guy out, and we'll readjust in a second. But I'm going to just insert this guy right here like this, and let those ribbons fall. I'm gonna cut this a little bit shorter, like so. Like that. You know what, a little bit shorter. I want one tail to be longer than the other one, like this. And all you have to do is run your fingers through like that to curl them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna reinsert all of these foliages that I took out to adjust, and I'm going to fill in so that way it's pretty packed with foliages. I'm gonna go around like right here. Ooh, trying not to mess with your bow too much, but making sure that there is enough greenery to cover my foam like this, and go all the way around. And then also you can add some more of this. Now that I have it more of an eye level, I can really readjust and see where do I want some of these beautiful foliages. Once again, you might want to have them spill forward, and you can do that by just giving it a little bit of a curvature. And right here where I have a little void, just insert more greenery like that. And I'm going to add another one right here. All right, you guys, so for our last step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pine cones. And the way I'm going to do it, I need a longer one. So I got a piece of stem. I'm gonna grab my pine cone that already comes with a stem and also a little wire. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl this wire all the way around my stem, so that way it's going to give me a longer stem and that pine cone is not going anywhere. So now I'm going to insert this guy right in here and I want to push it all the way down like this, and see, that's gonna give us even more natural feel to it. I have a few more of these pine cones that I'm going to add right here towards the bottom of my basket, so that way it looks a little bit more natural. It ties in with not only my basket but also with my door. And this is a free element because, well, pine cones are free in the nature, right? And all you have to do is put a skewer to them with a little bit of glue and you got yourself a little bit more of a nature look. All right, so I'm going to add this last one to my basket. I'm gonna give it a flap, stick it in the door and show you the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful basket on the front door, decorated on the Ralph Lauren inspired theme. I love the wicker texture. I love the beautiful pine cones and the touch of plaid, which really elevates the look. And then also this gorgeous eucalyptus from David Christopher. It really just adds so much to the door because it makes it look so much more taller and beautiful. Also the poinsettias and all the glitter pine, it really adds this beautiful texture to this door. And I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you took a few tips and tricks on how to decorate your own door this holiday season with the Ralph Lauren theme. I cannot wait to come back with more, so stay tuned. I'm always telling you that we get only one chance to create a first impression, and that is at the door. That's why I wanted to share with you this Ralph Lauren inspired basket. A variety of greeneries, poinsettias, pine cones, it really does the trick. But now I'm going to share with you how you can decorate a beautiful Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas tree. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so to decorate this beautiful traditional Christmas tree inspired by Ralph Lauren, what we're going to do is we're going to use a mesh ribbon. You know, the Ralph Lauren theme, it's very popular right now, and a few years ago, I did my whole house decorated like Ralph Lauren. If you have not seen that home tour, I'm going to link it down below so you can come and check it out. If you want inspirations, you know, Ralph Lauren theme this year is really popular, so I really do recommend to come and check it out. You can get some ideas. But what I'm going to is I'm going to create a loop, and then I'm going to grab my wire and I'm going to start right about here. Now I chose this beautiful mesh gold because it sparkles really beautifully with the light. So basically you want to create some pretty loops like this. Now we're going to do something very subdued, nothing too extravagant, because the Ralph Lauren theme, it's more about the foliages. So you want to make sure that you have some gold. However, what we really want to show, it's the foliages, the greeneries, and all of the beautiful berries and not sunflowers, listen to me say sunflowers, poinsettias. You know, a flower is a flower, I guess. So we're going to do 3 loops, and then I'm going to cut right here, and we're going to repeat on the other side. So basically we're just adding a little bit of glimmer to this beautiful tree. I'm going to disappear as I hang on to my ribbon in the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give ourselves about, I want to say about 6 inches. We're going to do a smaller loop. We're going to let this tail hang down. Remember to really fluff your bows as you go. And so I'm going to go over here, but remember that we do a stepladder motion going down, and I'm going to put that right here. Once again, what we want is just a little glimmer of gold, not too much gold. That's why most of the ornaments we'll use in the gold will have that matte feel to it. Remember, it's all about the foliages and the greenery. So we really want to pack this tree with lots and lots of greeneries when it comes down to our design. So there's 3, and then we're gonna grab these scissors one more time, and we're going to cut right about here, and we're going to do the same thing one more time. Let me see, do I have enough for one here in the middle? Yeah, I think we do. So what we're going to do is we're going to dovetail. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this Christmas season. We have been having so much fun. We are almost through the season. I cannot believe we're saying this. It seems like it was yesterday that we started decorating for Christmas, but now it's coming to an end. The month of November is upon us, and with that, most of our homes will be fully decorated, and so we now get to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And the way we do that is by relaxing and enjoying the time with our family members. All right, so now I'm gonna grab the other piece that I had, and this is a good way to repurpose some of that ribbon. Look what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go right here on the inside, and I'm going to pretend like this is the same ribbon. So basically, I'm going to do a loop right here, bring this out, and I'm going to do another one right here. See, nobody will know. Like that. And then now I get to cut right here at a dovetail. You guys, give it up for Jameson, who has been so instrumental for all of these videos this season. Come on, say hi. Come and say hi to all of the viewers in the channel.
And we're back.
And he's representing you guys. He's
Yes,
representing.
Exactly.
How's your season been?
Busy, busy, busy. We have a lot more to do.
Where are we going on Saturday? Oh no, where are we going on Wednesday? So today we're recording this what's today?
Monday.
Monday. And so on Wednesday, not tomorrow, but the day after, in the morning, we're going where?
Vegas.
We're going to Vegas. We're going to the market in Vegas to go pick up some other Christmas items.
Exactly. On the hunt.
We're in the hunt for more. All right, you guys, give it up for Jameson. He is so glad to be here, and I'm so excited to have him because, well, this is a lot of work, let me just say. All right, so now that we have all of this gold ribbon, you know what? I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to bring our next element. I really don't think I need to use any more of this mesh, so we can always save it for the wreath or the swag or whatever it is that we're doing next. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring our next element, which is going to be some ornaments, and I have them selected. You guys know I'm always telling you to have all of your ornaments at the ready right here. And so I'm going to grab a wire and I'm going to start wiring these ornaments. Now these are the 4-inch ornaments. The little cap came off, but no problem. That's why I'm always telling you that it's better if we glue them together. But this is live television. This is what happens when you are decorating live. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our ornament. I'm going to start by adding them right here. Now we want to make clusters of 2s, 3s, and 1s. So I'm going to grab a shiny one and a matte, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to kind of cluster them together because that way you'll get to see them more like that. And I only have about 6 or 8. I'm going to make a few clusters of this red. There's going to be other red elements that are going to help us really get creative with this theme, because the red is instrumental for the Ralph Lauren theme. You know, they use a lot of berries and a lot of poinsettias, and like I said, it's all about the natural theme. So once again, I'm going to add 2 of them right here. And thumbs up, leave me a comment down below if you decorate homes for the holidays. Are you here to do it for yourself? Do you do it as a business? I really want to know how many of you guys do this as a business, the home decorating. You know, we're moving to the South, where one of my dreams is to go back to decorate people's homes for the holidays. That's how I started my career. And so we're going to start booking some home decorating installations for businesses. And I'm super excited because, like I said, that's how I started, and it is time to get going. And not just decorate my home for the holidays, but people's homes. How amazing is that they let us come into their homes and they let us be part of their holiday season. We should be very, very grateful. All right, so once again, we have this wire. And as I was telling you, me and Jameson are heading to Vegas because we have a friend who works at the market. Lisa, if you're watching. Lisa and Melissa are friends in Las Vegas. And so we picked up some things at market, and they were gracious enough to hold them for us. But now that the season is upon us, well, it is time to go pick them up. And so we're super excited to see what else is new at the Las Vegas market, where everything happens for Christmas. All right, so now I'm gonna add a few more of these ornaments, but like I told you, this is going to be the gold. And I'm just going to add 1 to every single cluster that I did, so that way that cluster continues to grow and continues to be spectacular. Now you guys, like I told you earlier, a few years ago we decorated the home in the Ralph Lauren theme, and it was so beautiful. And there is a whole home tour that you can check out right now if you want to see more Ralph Lauren inspiration. Actually, you know what? Let me give you a sneak peek of what that home tour was like. Keep watching. All right, as you guys can see, that home tour was spectacular, and I really hope that you have time to check it out. I'm going to put it in the description box below. But now our next step is going to be to add some greenery. And you guys, I'm also crazy over this Real Touch pine that I just absolutely love. And so we have to know how many we have, because we have to distribute them all throughout our Christmas tree. And the way we want to do that is we want to push all the way in, and I'm going to go right here also, and I'm going to do one pointing out. Now I had 6 of this, so I have to make sure that I have them all throughout my Christmas tree. However, keep in mind that we do have other ones, like this particular one right here, which is going to be a, oh look, I have another one of those. I forgot it. So I'm gonna look for a spot. You kind of have to get away from it to see where it is that you need that. And look, that just added so much texture. Once again, this whole Ralph Lauren theme, it's all about the greeneries. And so the more types of greenery you can add to your Christmas tree. In this case right here, I'm going to add some flat cedars and pines that is all mixed together. Now here you guys, I always, when I decorate Christmas trees like this particular one, it cracks me up when people say, oh, where's the tree? You cannot see the tree. Well, this type of tree, you're not supposed to see it. This design tree is what we call a basic tree in the industry, and it's just for you to design on. And the way you do that is you grab all of your elements and you design something and you cover most of your Christmas tree with all of these beautiful picks and stems. And so you're really not meant to see most of it, because it's just to cover with all of these beautiful and luscious items. All right, so now the next item I'm going to add is this beautiful holly that it has a red berry, which is going to tie in with some of the elements right here. And so I'm going to add one right here. And this one has a particular frost that I just absolutely love. And once again, it's all about covering the perimeter of your tree. And as you guys can see, I'm just intertwining some of this holly all throughout, because I wanted to create that three-dimensional feel to it, to your Christmas tree. So I'm gonna add this right here. And remember to always add one pointing up. So I'm gonna go on my tippy toes right here. And we're going to make sure that we have this element all throughout our Christmas tree. And as you guys can see, it really is changing the look of this tree like that. All right, so now I'm going to get some poinsettias and some other elements, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so my next step is going to be to add some of these beautiful poinsettias. Now, believe it or not, these poinsettias are from Walmart, and they are super affordable. They come 5 on the little bundle. And you guys, these are some of the prettiest poinsettias, or so I like to call them budget poinsettias, that I've seen this year. And so I have to have some for this look. And so the way we're going to add them is we're going to really spruce up. Look how pretty that is. It just looks so natural. And we're going to find some areas like right here. There's always one that is like the biggest one. So we want to make sure that we get her, so that way we can put her in a prominent spot, like maybe right here. And look, this is looking very natural, very elegant. And that to me is what the Ralph Lauren theme is all about. I mean, once again, all about the greeneries and the natural elements, or elements that you can find in nature. And so one of those things to me is these beautiful poinsettias that I just absolutely love and had to have. I cannot believe I found this at Walmart. They're such good quality. Okay, so I'm going to add one right here. You want to kind of hide them into the tree, push them a little further than normal, so that way you just have that peekaboo of floral. And let me see, where do I need one? I think I need one right here on the top, like that. And maybe one right here in the center, like so. And that'll do. I have one left. So now our next step is going to be to add our accent ribbon. You guys know I'm telling you that I have a 4-step process, which is ribbons first, which we did, the mesh, and then ornaments second, stems, picks, and florals third, and then this is what's going to really tie it together. So I'm just gonna let it go on the floor because we're gonna use most of it anyways. This ribbon is what's really going to transform this Christmas tree and is going to give it that super traditional Ralph Lauren theme look. So I'm gonna start with a tail, and I'm going to do 1 loop bows like this. I'm gonna bring it forward, and what I want is the second tail to be a little bit longer than the other one. I'm gonna cover tails like this, and I'm gonna grab a wire, and I'm going to grab a spot, and I'm going to add it in like this. Remember, we do want those tails to just dangle all the way down. And I'll show you a trick real quick. You know I'm full of tricks, right? So I'm going to give myself another longer tail. I'm going to do a 1 loop bow, then I'm gonna twist it around. And the one thing that you can do is twist and then put it right about here. And so what I really want is this ribbon to really hang down. I think it looks more elegant when you let it just go as far down as you can, considering the amount of ribbon that you may have. And so once again, I'm going to do it by dovetailing, putting my scissors in my pocket. I've been looking for a belt, one of those hairstylist belts, so that way I can have all my tools on my waist. Sometimes it's just easier. So I'm gonna do the same thing over on this side right here. Just grab this and let it drape all the way down as far as I want. And see how that just extends the shape of your tree, and it adds that beautiful element of nature. To me, at least to me, plaid is usually a very good representative of the holiday season. I love, 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 and I'm not kidding when I tell you I have a few that I leave out all year round plaid blankets. I feel like any home should have 3 things. Chinoiserie blue, which elevates the look of your home, a printed animal, which I love, a cheetah print, and then also a plaid. I think those elements are very representative of Ralph Lauren. If you look for any pictures of his home on the internet, you'll see those elements represented, which is cheetah print, blue and white chinoiserie, and then of course the tartan plaids, which is in this case this beautiful, gorgeous ribbon.
And Jameson's case, champagne.
And champagne. Oh yeah, also silver, whether it's silver or silver plate. It's also very Ralph Lauren. So I'm gonna add another one right here. So just grab a tail like this, swirl it around, and then give yourself some give on that ribbon. And see how easy it is. I'm going to do one on the top. And I think for the top, I'm going to do a 3-loop bow because it is our, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I personally don't like a Christmas topper. I never have. I don't think I ever will. I don't like it when a tree looks like it's exploded on the top. It's just a matter of personal preference. I've seen some people that do it very well, but for me personally, I don't like it. So, but in this case, I'm going to add a 3-loop bow, and I'm going to go all the way to the top right here. And that's kind of gonna be our topper, sort of. And then I'm going to give it a little cut right here, like that. And so that'll give us a little thing on the top. I think I'm going to add another one right here in the middle and really let it hang down, because that's going to elongate it even further. And I'm going to go like this. Just go up a little bit. Grab yourself a wire, and we're going to go right about here. Swirl that wire in to lock it in, like this. And then we're going to let it hang down like that. Like so. And I think we need another one over here on this side. Sometimes you kind of have to get away from it to see where it is that you need a little bit more. So on the side for sure is looking a little flat. So I'm gonna bring this ribbon in. And this was a 10-yard bolt, you guys, and look all of the bows that I got to do with a 10-yard. All right, so I'm gonna finish right here. Where's my scissors? I'm gonna give this a flap and show you guys the end result, so keep watching. And here it is, our beautifully decorated Christmas tree, you guys. How absolutely gorgeous this turned out on the urn. And I wanna mention real quick that the only thing you have to do to change the look of your home this holiday season is change a few pillows, add a few florals, and you too can have this gorgeous look. But I just want you to see real quick how stunning this turned out. I'm going to get closer to give you a close-up of these ribbons, the beautiful gold ribbon that just shimmers, all of these beautiful, gorgeous picks with the berries, the poinsettias, the types of greenery, just add a beautifully whimsical look to this gorgeous Christmas tree. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did putting it together, and I cannot wait to come back with even more ideas for your home this holiday season. I cannot wait. Stay tuned. I absolutely love the way this tree turned out, you guys, and I'm super excited. If you like it, be sure to leave me a comment down below. But now I'm going to share with you a beautiful Ralph Lauren inspired tabletop centerpiece that you can put either on your coffee table, your entryway table, a kitchen island, or even in your dining table. Let's take a look. All right, so let's get started with this beautiful arrangement or centerpiece for your home. So what I did is I went ahead and added the foam to my container, and then also I put a little bit of moss all the way around. This container, you guys, is from Shinoda Design Center, and I'm gonna start with this beautiful flat cedar that actually you can find at Walmart, and I love it because it comes in this big stem like this. You guys, I just been pulling out on it. It's really sometimes easy, sometimes it's a little bit hard, but as you guys can see, it's just comes apart. And this particular one, actually, I like all the way like that. So actually, I'm gonna take that one out. But I even like the little stem right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert it right here, like this. And so as you guys can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around with my centerpiece. I want it to be grained and full. Remember that the Ralph Lauren, it's all about the greeneries. We have to get some different kinds of greeneries to fill in our centerpiece, and we want it to spill forward. So like this one right here, the bend, so I'm going to just insert going down and just let it cascade down like this. And I'm going to insert some of these beautiful greeneries like so. Look, one stem really just got me a lot of it. Now I also recommend to have this beautiful Lazy Susan because it allows you to move it around and to see where it is that you need movement, right? Like that right here, I'm going to add. Now I'm going to cut this other stem that came with it. Remember, it comes with this. I'm going to put it right here on the top. So this is what it's looking like. I have my pick machine right here because I might have to pick some of my greeneries. And also I have this other stem right here. You guys, this, believe it or not, it's a pine that came on a garland, and I'm always telling you to just see what else you can use that for. So this right here came from Walmart, and I love it. Now when you insert your greeneries, remember to give them a little bit of a twist, so that way you can see what we call in the industry the money maker. Like this particular one has a pine cone right here, so we want to make sure that we show some of those pine cones, and the way we do that is by giving them a little bit of a twist. I'm going to add this guy right here, and then I'm going to insert some of them going down as well. We want to fill in as many types of greenery as possible with this particular. Look how pretty that is. That's grand and lavish, and I just absolutely love it. All right, so now I'm gonna put this guy in. This has a beautiful berry and it has a white tint, and it all makes sense because I have other ones that have a white They look almost like flocked. They're so pretty. And look at that. It fills in so well. And now it has the berry. Remember, we're going to add some red to this because the Ralph Lauren theme is all about the nature and all of that mixture of foliages and natural elements. And in this case, it's going to be that berry. So that's 3 of them. We're going to probably add about 5. So I'm going to add some towards the edge. So that way I can go down. Look, see how that elongates. And you know, one of my favorite things when I worked at the flower shop was to play with different types of greenery. And my favorite one was the holly. I love playing with holly during the, and we say play, but that's actually work. I love working with holly, especially during the holiday season, because it was just so elegant. A whole arrangement of just holly, it makes the trick, right? All right, so now I got these beautiful poinsettias, and these poinsettias are going to be the main focal point throughout our DIYs today. I feel like the Ralph Lauren theme also calls for natural flowers, whether it's poinsettias or other natural elements. And to be honest, when it's fresh, it's even prettier. So we have some of these foliages. Look, this stem comes like this. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter. And we need to make sure that they are tacked into our arrangement. Now this particular one has some extra foliage, so I'm gonna cut right here at the foliage so that we can use it. Now they come pretty flat on the box because, well, they're shipped from abroad. So all we need to do is give them a little bit of life. And so now what I'm going to is I'm going to insert some of those right here. And I'm going to be sure to add some, okay, let me clean real quick. Giving it a spin right here. So I'm gonna add this guy right about here. See why I want to cut him short, because that way you don't have to push as far down on the foam. Now, if you do have to, that's why we have our pick machine right here. And you guys, I explained all of our tools on our group on Facebook, why the tools that we have and tools that we use. Remember that we have our private group on Facebook where we teach all of these elements of design, Ramon at Home Masterclass. So come and join if you want to learn the tips and the tricks of all of this DIYing. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna add this guy right here, and I'm gonna spin around and see where another one. This stem came with 5 of them. So I'm going to insert this guy right here. And so as you can see, this reminds me one of those old school arrangements. Now this right here, I'm going to add one to one side. I'm gonna spin around and I'm going to add another one. And that's going to give us that natural look all the way around. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this beautiful David Christopher eucalyptus, and it comes on this stem like this, you guys. So I'm gonna try and pull it out. Oh yeah, it does come out. This is from David Christopher, so let me see if I can pull out. Oh, they're like wrapped, but that means it's good quality. So what we're going to do is we're gonna grab our scissors and we're going to cut through the paper right here, no problem. Just want to do a little slit and then you pull out. There's no way that this paper is going to win. We have to win against the paper. And thumbs up, you guys, if you're enjoying this season. I'm having so much fun, and so is Jameson. You guys, we've been having so much fun this holiday. It's crazy how the year went so quick, right, Jameson?
Oh, yeah.
We were filming back in May, and now all of a sudden it's November. It's like, where did the time go? All right, so I'm going to go like this, and then I'm gonna pull them out. So they folded them in half. That's why it's giving me a hard time, but no problem. Like I said, we have to outsmart our stems. So now that we freed them, what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to fold right where it was, and I'm gonna put a pick on it. And so I want some of these eucalyptus to kind of pop out from the arrangement. Once again, it's all about creating that natural look. This one I'm gonna cut a little bit shorter. I feel like it needs to be cut a little bit shorter, and then I'm going to fold and put that pick on it. And we're going to work in sets of 2s. So right here, I'm going to do a set of 2, like this. Look how pretty that is. Then I'm gonna go all the way around, and I'm going to grab another one, and I'm going to cut a little bit shorter, fold a little bit in half, grab my pick machine. It's not a machine really, because it's not our pick. What would you call this? A pick instrument, I guess. And then I'm going to go right here, and then I'm going to pull yet another one out like this. pick it. And I'm going to go maybe right about here. So we work in sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So for this particular one, I'm going to add yet another one over on this side. That one came out really easy. We'll just pick. And I love how natural these guys look. So I'm gonna do right here the famous triangle. And look, how fun is that? It looks elegant and it looks natural, but now what I want to do is I'm going to add a few more elements, and that is going to be some of these glittered foliage that I found that I just absolutely love, and it comes like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here on the perimeter of my container, and I'm going to elongate even further right here. So as you guys can see, that's going to give it a little bit more glam. And we don't need very many. All we need is a few of them to go all the way around. And that's going to give us a little bit of sparkle for the holidays. I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to do the triangle right here. And like I said, that's going to elongate the arrangement. All right, I feel like I need another one. I'm gonna add it. I'm going to leave that on the stem, and I'm gonna cut a little bit shorter. And so I'm going to add this one on the very top right here. So that way it's longer and elongates. I feel like this one is too short, so I'm gonna get it out. And let's see, where else? It's all about repositioning all of these elements. So I'm gonna go right here. All right, so far that's what it's going to look like. I am going to add one last element to this, and that's going to be our ribbon. So that way it matches our other projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab right here this piece of ribbon, and I'm going to cut at a dovetail both ends. And what we want to do is a little bow, and we're gonna put it to one side because that's what's going to tie in all of our elements on our Ralph Lauren inspired theme. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a tail. I'm gonna pinch and gather. I'm going to make a sweet bow, maybe a 2-loop bow like this, pinch and gather. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a wire over on this side, and I'm going to wire all of this together like this. Now I'm gonna grab a stem that I have left over from this beautiful eucalyptus. And so now we're left with this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here to one side, and I'll show you. It's going to be right about here. And I want it to grace the table like that. So I think I'm going to, I like it not to touch the table. I feel like it's better if it doesn't touch the table. So I'm gonna have to cut just a little bit more, like that. Perfect. So that, as you guys can see, it all tie in. I'm gonna put this on the table and show you what it looks like. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this cute little arrangement that looks absolutely adorable here on the table. As you guys can see, it goes so well with these beautiful plaids. The red is just absolutely gorgeous and super easy to make. I just want to add the little detail right here of the ribbon. It just creates a beautiful spectacle for the holiday season, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Anytime that I set a table, I start with a charger, and a few years ago I was gifted these sequin chargers from Williams Sonoma, and I absolutely love it because they catch the light so beautifully. And Christmas is all about the glitter and the sparkle. So this is perfect for, as you guys can see right here in the light, it just sparkles so beautifully. So that's going to be my foundation for my dish stack. So the next thing I'm gonna add is I'm gonna go ahead and add these white dishes. They have a gold rim on them, and they are perfect. If you guys have been following the channel, you know that I'm always telling you to just buy one set of white dishes and they will carry you through all the seasons. However, I always recommend also to have a set of dishes with a gold rim because it really does create that festive feel to your tablescapes. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna add is going to be my napkin. And for this occasion, I fold it in a square. So basically I just fold it in half, then I fold it in half again, and I'm gonna put the seam to the top. And I'm gonna make sure that all of my napkins have that seam to the top because it will help it look finished. And I love this red one because Christmas is all about red and green, at least for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that one right there, and I'm gonna put the fourth one right here. On top of this, I'm gonna go ahead and put my salad plate, and that's gonna actually break down the dish, as you guys can see right here. It helps the stack of dishes look more elegant by adding that napkin on the bottom. So I really recommend. This also serves as a separation between the whites, and it really makes the dish pop. So that's gonna be our dishes. Now for on top of that, I have these cute little saucers that I found a few years ago at Williams Sonoma, and I'm gonna go ahead and add those right on top. Those could also be used for dessert, and I have 4 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 on top of each stack of plates. As you guys can see, it's really creating the layers up, and I also love it. Then on top of that, I was given, I think Jameson bought me this a few years ago. They're salt cellars, and they're made out of crystal. And then I have these salt silver spoons, and those go right here to your left. I also love the details like this, and I always just make sure that all the spoons always face the same way so it looks cohesive all throughout your table. So I have 4 of those. As you guys can see, they are so adorable. So always put them to your left. All right, perfect. Then on top of that, what I'm going to go ahead and add is going to be our glasses. And I have these cute glasses with the gold rim. Now at this point, you have to readjust all of your things on your placemat because I want everything to be on top of the placemat. So as you guys can see, I have to adjust my plate right here. So I'm gonna add that right there. For this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and push down, as well as this one right here. It's all about playing with your stemware, your glassware, your flatware. I'm gonna add this guy opposite, right here towards the edge. And as you guys can see, the gold rim on the glass as well as on the dishes is really starting to tell a story. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my stemware, and they also have a gold rim on it. And as you guys can see, it's just all coming together beautifully. And I cannot wait to add the beautiful accents. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one right in front of my dish stack, like this. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm gonna do the flatware. So I need to grab all of these guys right here. And if you guys been following the channel, then you know that the easiest way to remember where the flatware goes is spoon and knife have 5 letters, so they go on your right because the word right has 5 letters, and fork has 4 letters, just like the word left, L-E-F-T, left. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and do the opposite on this side. And I'm setting the table backwards, so I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but I'll have to double check. All right, so that's that. Then on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and add my fork, my knife, and my spoon on this side. And then I'm gonna add, I just figured that it's backwards if it's right. All right, so then my knife, and always put that facing towards the plate so there is no accident. Perfect, that is so far so good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add these cute little packages right here, and that's a takeaway for all of our guests. They're gonna be having dinner. So I have these cute little packages with a little present. You could also do an ornament. That would be really cute too. I'm gonna go ahead and add this package right here and add this guy over on this side. All right, you guys, so the very first thing I wanna add to my centerpiece is going to be these gorgeous candelabras from Shinoda Design Center, who, by the way, I want to take a second to thank them for allowing us this holiday season to use some of their product, and then also to come into their facility and record some videos for you. So these candelabras are from Shinoda Design Center. All right, so that is good. And then over here on this wooden bowl, I have all of my candles. I'm gonna go ahead and put them right here. Now here's the thing, I could put the candles just like that, and that's fine. However, I want it to be more layered and more lavish because it is a holiday dinner. So I have pre-cut some of this moss right here. And what I like to do is I just go ahead and add some moss. And as you guys can see, it creates that little nest for your candles, and it makes it look more layered and lavish. And I just love that little detail. Now, your moss is going to shed a little bit, and we'll take care of it in a second. But I just want you guys to see how beautiful that little detail just makes these candelabras look, and you can find this moss at any of your local craft stores, and it just gives it that pop of greenery, and it's going to tie in with the bouquets of greenery that I show you guys how to make. Like that. I'm gonna finish the other one. I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Okay, now that we have all of our candles sitting on this beautiful moss, it's time to introduce our greenery bouquets. And as I told you guys in the video, I did 3 of them, and I'm just gonna go ahead and lay them all the way out so they're not on the view of my guests. And what I like about this is because when it's time to sit down and have dinner, then you can remove the candelabras, perhaps put them on your sideboard, and just leave the greenery bouquets. Now, the last thing I want to add is I have some of these votive candles from my local dollar store. I'm just gonna lay those down because once we take the candelabras out, I want it to be a source of light. Just make sure they're not on the way of your bouquet so they don't catch on fire, because remember, cedars and pines are really flammable. So just make sure that they are in front of the guest over here like this, and then that way we can light them up. Like I said, once you're ready to sit down for dinner, take your candelabras out. I'm gonna light all of the candles and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Keep watching. So what do you guys think? Wasn't this just absolutely fun? I love a traditional theme, and I really hope that you did as well. So if you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, tell them to come and join the Christmas season 2025 here at Ramon at Home. Ralph Lauren is trending this year, and I really hope that you were as inspired as I am. Don't forget to check out the home tour, which is going to be linked down below, and a playlist right here with even more DIYs and decorating ideas to inspire you this holiday season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and until next time, you can watch more videos right now. Bye.